Hi grade 7. Welcome back in Math online class with me, Miss Tia. I hope all of you always healthy and happy to learn mathematics. Today, we will learn about generating sequences. Do you know what is sequence? If I have 4 numbers, for example, 1, 3, 5, 7 is called with a sequence of numbers. For the details, let's follow my explanation.
Generating sequences. Our keywords today. The first is sequence, barisan atau deret. The second is term, suku atau bilangan. The third is consecutive term, suku atau bilangan yang berurutan. The fourth is term-to-term rule, aturan yang digunakan pada barisan bilangan. The fifth, infinite sequence, barisan atau deret yang tidak terbatas. The sixth, finite sequence, barisan atau deret yang terbatas. Before we continue, here is a riddle about a sequence. What comes next in sequence? Start from 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11? Do you know the answer? Yes, the come next in sequence after 11 is 100. Why 100? The next number that doesn't contain a T in spelling. Sequences. There are 2 different ways you will be expected to generate or work out the term in a sequence. How work out the terms? There are 2 ways. The first is a term-to-term rule. The second is a position-to-term rule. If we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on, is a sequence of numbers. Each number in the sequence is called term. The first term is 3, the second term is 6, and so on. Terms that follow each other are called consecutive terms. 3 and 6 are consecutive term, 6 and 9 are consecutive term, and so on. Each term is 3 more than the term before. So 6 is 3 more than 3, and 9 3 more than 6, 12 is 3 more than 9, 15 is 3 more than 12, and so on. So the term-to-term rule is add 3. 3 dots written at the end of sequence show that the sequence continues forever. A sequence that carries on forever is called an infinite sequence. If a sequence doesn't have the 3 dots at the end, then it doesn't continue forever. This type of sequence is called a finite sequence. A term-to-term rule. How to write down the first 3 terms of each sequence? I will explain number 1, number 2, and number 5. Number 1. The first term is 1, and then the term-to-term rule add by 5. So we will find the second term and the third term. How to find the second term with the term-to-term rule add by 5? From the first term, that is 1, add by 5. The second term will be 1 add by 5 equals 6. Then the third term, we continue from second term. The third term will be 6 add by 5 equal 11. So the sequence is 1, 6, and 11. Number 2. The first term is 20. And then the term-to-term rule, subtract by 4. So we will find the second term and the third term. The same, we find the second term with term-to-term rule, subtract by 4. So for the first term, that is 20, subtract by 4. The second term will be 20 subtract by 4 equals 16. Then the third term, we continue from the second term. The third term will be 16 subtract with 4 equal 12. So the sequence is 20, 16, and 12. Number 5. The first term is negative 5, and then the term-to-term rule, add by 2. So we find the second term with term-to-term rule, add by 2. From the first term, that is negative 5, add by 2. The second term will be negative 5, add by 2, equal negative 3. Then the third term, we continue from second term. The third term will be negative 3, add by 2, equal negative 1. So the sequence is negative 5, negative 3, and negative 1. So all of you, please try to work out number 3, number 4, and number 6 on your own mathematics book. The second is a position to term rule. Each term in the sequence is calculated according to its position in the sequence. Usually this takes the form on an nth term formula, which is a formula that takes in the position of a term, or for the first term, n equal to 1 and so on, and outputs the value of that term. For example, generate the first 4 term of the sequence defined by the nth term formula. The term equal to 3n subtract 2. N is the position number. The first term equal 3 multiply with 1 subtract with 2. So multiply and subtract, of course the first is we multiply first. So the result is 3 and then minus 2 equal to 1. The second term, 3 multiply with 2 and then subtract with 2, we have 6 and then subtract with 2 equal to 4. The third term, we have 3 multiply with 3 and then subtract with 2. We have 9 and then subtract with 2 equal to 7. The fourth term, we have 3 multiply with 4 and then subtract with 2. We have 12 and then subtract with 2 equal 10. So we have sequence 1, 4, 7, and 10. The term-to-term rule is add by 3. 1 plus 3 become 4, 4 plus 3 become 7, and 7 plus 3 become 10. The position to term rule is 3 multiply with n or position number, subtract with 2. Now, your project is number 1. Please make sequence with pattern from the straws and ice cream sticks, then glued on the white paper. The second, write a term-to-term rule and a position-to-term rule. And then the last, take a picture, then upload in Google Classroom.
Related to the project, this is the example of sequence, a pattern of shapes made from tubes. The shapes are made of cuts of straws. Like this one is cuts of straws. Please all of you make the shape as creative as you can from the straws. For example, I have a triangle from the straws. You can cut the straws like this one and then make a triangle. Okay, now I have 2 triangles from the straws. I think all of you can understand my explanation. Please do your project within 2 weeks. Then take a picture and upload it in Google Classroom. See you next meeting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.